Welcome to Knifeware. In this video, we're going to show you how to add your hotel rates into the system. After watching this video, if there was any sort of question, please don't hesitate to contact us. First, we click on Contracting and then we go to Hotels. In this section, we choose our currency, the city, and the hotel we want to add our rates for. As you can see here, we're going to see all different room types that we have previously added the rates. But if we want to shorten the list, we can simply click on Room and choose the room type that we want to add rates for to shorten our list. If you want to add a new rate, you can simply click on Rate, or if we want to edit the already existing rates, we can just go to them and click on Edit. Once we click on Rate or Edit, we're going to see this next page. In this part, we're going to choose our start and end date, which is the contract dates that we have with our supplier or hotel. Creditor will actually show us who we are getting the rates from, the hotel itself or a specific provider, which we have previously defined any of them in the user section, which has been explained to you before in another video. We simply just type and then find our specific supplier or hotel. If you want to add different types of rates for this room type, we have to choose this option Limit, which starts from 0 to 7. Limit option actually helps us to not add rates in the exact same date for a room type, which will again give us an error and not let us to add the same room type twice in the same date. So we have this option to actually help us specify. This rate that we are adding into the system is for limit 0 or 5 or 7 or any other number, which are defined in different dates. But if you want to add refundable, non-refundable, or different meal types for a specific room type in this exact same date, we come to Contract, and which all again starts from 0 to 7. For example, we choose 7 or 0, and then we can make this refundable, we can make one non-refundable, or exactly repeating it again, but with different room types with different numbers. We choose our specified currency, and in the basis section, we choose the meal type that we want to add rates for. In order to specify our no-show policy, we can simply click on no-show and choose one of the options as you can see over here. 1 to 5 nights, percentage, and full. If we want to add a specific penalty for early checkout, we can simply click on early and again choose one of the options below. Free means there will be no penalties. One night means one night will be charged, or different percentage, or full, which will completely make this booking non-refundable if the client wants to have an early checkout. CX days A, which will give us from 0 to the amounts of dates that we want, which will give us the exact idea on when our system will charge the specific booking if the client wanted to cancel. 0 means at the date of check-in. 1 means 1 day before check-in, and as follows. For example, if the client cancels 3 days before check-in, we can make it refundable completely. We can charge 1 night or more, or percentage, or make it full, which will be non-refundable if the client cancels 3 days before check-in. And if we want to have different types of dates of cancellation, we can choose one over here and specify a second one below. At the same time, if the hotel or supplier has given you a specific code or rate ID. For the contracts that you have with them, you can specify that ID in the booking code, which will show the hotel exactly what is the room type and contract number that this room has been booked for. Market will give you the option to choose which market this rate will be available for. As of right now, clicking on any of them works for all markets. But in our next update, this will be completely specified to different markets if you want to sell to them. In this section, when we click on plus, we can give our rates more details. As you can see, adult will show us the maximum number of adults that can check in into this room type. For example, 2 means maximum 2 adults can check in into this hotel in this specific room type that has been chosen. Plus bed means extra bed. If we have this option, we click on it and add the specific number of extra beds that can be added to this room type. If no, just simply click 0. Child, sharing bed, or child with bed. If we have it, we say the exact number. If no, just we can add 0. Infant, sharing bed, extra bed for the infant, if available. And then we specify the rate. For example, 100 dirhams. If this room type also accepts extra bed and we want to give different types of rates for this exact same room type, but in different conditions, then we click on plus. And now we say 3. Now that we have defined maximum number of adults, which is 3, we can have 1 in the extra bed, which shows that 2 will sleep on the bed and 1 will sleep on the extra bed. And we can follow the same procedure as many times as we want for different types of extra beds or childs and infants that we want to add to this room type with different types of rates. For example, if we go ahead and make this 0, we can define this as 150. And now, if the client goes ahead and searches this hotel in this specific room type and clicks on 2 adults, they're going to see this rate. If they choose 3 adults, they will again see this room as available, but now they will see this rate. Now that the rate has been specified, we go to markup. The maximum markup percentage is 200, which is going to mean 20%, which as you can see here, 120. This percentage will actually give you the idea of how much this hotel will be sold on our website. If you want to set a specific markup for the exchange to buy from us, you can choose this section over here, EX percentage, which is of course not to 100 but to 1000. Whatever number you press here, it's going to be divided by 4, which you can simply see as below. And now you specify how much the exchange is going to sell, which is again to 1000, like before, you set it over here. Which will mean how much you can now sell to your clients. So as a summary, this percentage, which is to 100, which 200 is maximum, which means 20%, is the amount that we're going to sell on our website. The first one, which I click on here, EX percentage, will actually specify how much you're going to buy from us. And this one, EXP, means how much you're going to sell. That means you are going to define how much you're going to sell and how much you're going to buy in the same section and has to be defined in the system. So the buyer will not be able to define the percentage. You're the one who are choosing exactly how this booking will happen and how much it will be sold. You can add different types of percentage to make sure exactly how much it will be. The numbers shown over here are all in AED per night. So you can simply play with these percentage options to make sure of everything that we have already explained in this section. Below the reservation notes is the notes that you can simply put into the system and inform the hotel. So once this room type has been booked, the hotel will also receive these reservation notes. Voucher notes are the notes that you can simply put here in written, and this will be put on the voucher. So it can be policies or different types of notifications that you want to add for this room type, for this rate at this specific date. Once everything is done and everything is specified, you click on Active to make this room type with the specific rates that we have already defined and cancellation policies as an active status, and then we click on Submit. After we click on Submit, we can see the room type that we have already defined at this part. And now we have to define the allocations for the rates and room types that we have already defined. To do so, we click on Limit. In this part, as you can see, this is the selected room type, our hotel, our city. We click on our currency. And in this section, we have to choose the exact limit that we have already chosen for the room type and rate that we have previously chosen. To just give you another review, we're going to go back and show you. For example, limit 0 means limit 0. And if we want to add allocation for any other limit that we want to add, for example, limit 1, we have to click LM1, which is going to mean limit number 1. So now in order to make our allocation available for a specific date, we choose the dates that we want this room type and rate allocation available. If hotel has given us a booking window, we can choose from here. If not, we can simply leave it empty. Real estate will actually give us the option to say till what date of check-in can this room type be booked. For example, if we press 1, that means that 1 day before check-in, this room will be available. But at the day of check-in, this room will no longer be available. Limit refers to the number of rooms we have available. For example, in this period of our contract, for this room type and this hotel that we have chosen previously, we say that we have 10 available rooms, which means that this hotel with this room type and this period of contract has available of 10 rooms with a release date of 1, and with limit 0 to 7, whichever we have chosen previously. We click on the currency that we want to sell. And then if this means that this room is going to be an active and everyone can book it in this specific date, we click on both active and available. If for any reason this room is not an available static rate and there may be a contact request that we have to make with the hotel or supplier to make sure that these rooms are still available and can be booked, we can simply uncheck this box and make this room type be shown after the client search as on request. Also, if you want to make the on request option available for the bookings that were going to happen at the exact same date of the check-in, we can click this option and then press 0, and again uncheck this box, which would mean if the client searches for today and the booking date is also today, the room will show as on request. But if we click this, that means today again can be booked and is available, and there is no need for an on request option. But if, as again, uncheck this option, that means you can book for today, but you have to wait for confirmation because it's an on request option. Once you're sure of your selection, you can simply click on submit and make this allocation available. The allocations that you have made for this specific room type are going to be shown here, as you can see. The ones that has been lined through means they have been disabled or their time has run out. Again, if you wanted to edit a specific allocation, you can simply click on this edit option and again change your preferences. Now to show you how our specific details that we have entered are going to be shown on the system, we're going to do a small search, which we can do from Hotel Bookings Search and Book. In this section, we click on the city, we choose our specified city, check in the number of nights, the adults, and then we click on search. After we click on search, we're going to see the availability of the room type that we have specified in the previous section. Green means it's completely available. In this section, we're going to choose who is going to be the buyer, which has already been added to the system in the accounts part. Then we click next. And now we're going to see per room night rates and the total. Once we hold our mouse on it, we're going to see what amount we're going to sell and what amount we're going to buy. Over here, we enter the name. If we have transfer, we choose it. If no, we just simply click on no. If there are any kind of requests, which of course, always be remembered that they are not guaranteed, we can specify them over here. Or write any kind of special request that the client who is going to buy this room type from us might need. And then we click on next. Now we're going to see an overview of everything that we have already entered in the previous section. Once everything's done, we're going to click on submit. After we click on submit, the booking will be done. But before that, let's go back and show you exactly how the system will look like if we are booking on request or at a date that is not possible, and how the system will show it. As you can remember, for this specified allotment, we have set the release date for 1, which means 1 day before check-in, all the room types will be available. So if we go ahead and search for today's check-in, we're going to see an on request option. Once again, before we move forward, I'm going to show you again the allotment that we have already made in the system. If we uncheck this box, now we mean that we are going to get the on request option if the booking date is today. We're going to see as yellow. And right here, the system will actually show us that Monday, for example, is on request, but the next 2 days are available. But for example, if we change this to 0, means the check-in date and booking date are the same, but at the same time, we uncheck this box. What it's going to mean is that if the check-in date and booking date are for today, then the system will not allow you to book and it will show as red, which you can see here. As you can see, the system will show this option as red and can be easily understood that this booking will not happen because one or two of the dates are not available either online or on request. Also, if you want to define stop sell or any other option for our allotment, we can do from limit extra. We can simply come here, add again the limit price that we're going to set these rules for, and then we say that all on request, only on request, or stop sell. If we click on stop sell, then this means that, for example, these dates that we choose from the calendar will be unavailable. And if we search for these dates, the system will show them as red. So if a client searches, for example, from this date to this date, but we have blocked these dates and added a stop sell for them, then the system again will show them as red and this booking is not available. If we want to have any kinds of promotions in the specific dates that we have already added our rates for, we can go to Rate Extra. In this section, please remember that the only option that works is flat rates, which can be entered here. For example, we say that if our booking window is from 1st of October till the end, and if the minimum stay means the minimum amounts of nights that the client is searching for is 3 nights, then this promotion will get active for the client, which for example in this case, which means, for example, you can set 50 dirhams CR, your buying price, and 50 dirhams your selling price to the exchange. These amount will decrease from the total price as per below conditions. For example, if it's a promotion, means overall. This one means per night. This means 50 dirhams from the first night or 50 dirhams from the last night. Whatever we click, this promotion will get activated for. But be always remembered that if we don't click on promotion, then this amount will not decrease. It will actually add to the amounts that actually is going to be shown at the search. So if we want to decrease the amount, if we have any specific promotions, we have to specify that this rule that we are adding is actually a promotion and from what type of decrease it actually will take place, per night, first night, or only the last night. For example, in this case, we're seeing that this promotion has actually decreased the amounts of prices per night. And now we know that, for example, in this table, this promotion has taken place. So as you saw, if the promotion is checked, this amount that we have specified in these sections will decrease as per the selection that we made here. But if we don't click on this and we specify per night, that means that 50 dirhams will actually be added per night if the minimum stay is 3 nights in this booking window. Once all promotions, all rates, all allotments has been made and a booking has happened, we can go to reservation list from this section and see the bookings that has actually taken place. Over here, we're going to see the status of each booking that has happened. Send option will actually give us the idea to send the specific booking that has been made to the hotel itself. If we want to have any comments or also show the hotel what rates have been sold, we click this option, add the comments that we want, and also enter the email address of the hotel or the supplier that we have booked this room from. Of course, this section will already be filled out if all the email addresses has already been entered in the user section. that we have been added in the previous video. Once received by the hotel or supplier, they can confirm the booking as per the instructions that they've received on the email. And once they do that, the booking status will change to confirmed. Once the booking is confirmed, we can simply click on this option, which will give us the voucher for this specific booking. And the final voucher, after we actually make the payment and click on the clear payment, it will look like something like this. So this means that the booking has been successfully made and the voucher has been created. If for any reason our communication with our supplier or the hotel has always been by email, and they don't have access to actually make the changes to this booking, then they're going to send us all the information on WhatsApp, Telegram, or email. If we want to make the details actually happen on the booking itself and also show on the voucher, then we have to come to this edit option. And for example, we enter the booking number, which is the confirmation number that the hotel has sent us for this confirmed booking. Or we can send them a link and they can enter it themselves with the email option that we have previously showed you a couple of seconds ago. If we want to make any kind of changes or cancel the booking as well, all the communications has to be made offline because this procedure is not an online feature. Of course, the client can send us the cancel request option from their access on the system, but in order to confirm, we have to do it by hand. And I'm going to show you how. In this section, for example, we can simply change the status of the booking. For example, we can click on cancel, confirmed, cancel, or charge cancel. This means that it's going to go to cancelled status, and then we have to communicate this with the hotel. Cancel confirmed means the cancel has been confirmed with no charges. Charged cancel is going to mean that the booking has been cancelled, but a cancellation penalty has also been applied, which, for example, we can edit also here. For example, if the hotel has refunded completely and we want to still charge our client, we can simply just come here, make this 0, which would actually mean that we pay nothing for this booking, but we are actually charging the client this amount. And if the booking is cancelled without any sorts of issues, we can simply just click on cancel and the status will change. And the booking will look something like this, which is no charges applied and the booking is cancelled. Whatever changes we make to the booking, after we do it, we see this option appear, and after we click on it, such page will open. For example, if we want to cancel and also notify the hotel or the supplier, we can simply click on this option, send, and this page will appear. If any comments needed, again, we can enter it and then we click send, and this request will be sent to the hotel by this email that is entered over here. And once the hotel receives it, they see such a page and they can click on this option and simply enter the needed details that is required. Or they can just inform us by email, and like I told you before, you can go to the edit option and make the changes by hand yourself. The same goes for amendment. If we want to amend, we simply change the status to amend and then we submit. But if the amendment is, for example, for the date or any other kind of amendments, we simply come here and change the date. For example, we add another night. Then we can specify the price for this new night that we have added, or even decrease and then change the prices for the remaining 2 nights. And once the amendment is made, again, we simply click on send and send the amendment details to the hotel. Or again, if the hotel responds back by email or WhatsApp, then we have to make changes all by hand with the edit option. And then once everything's done, we can again change this to a confirmed status. Once you have sold one night or couple of nights for your booking and made a couple of bookings for the specific room type, you can simply go to contracting again, go to the hotels, and then you can click on this option, or like before, you can go to the hotels, find the hotel you want, and you can again click on this option which will show above the room type, which I'm going to show you. As you can see, limit cache is also available here. This option will give you the idea at the specific times that your room types are available and how much of them has been booked. If all are green, this means that for these specific dates that we have made allotment and specified different kind of prices, 10 rooms are available out of 10. If 1 or 2 rooms are booked for this date or different kinds of dates, the amounts of rooms that will show in gray color are actually meaning that these amounts has been booked. And also, the pop-up option that you can see on the right, which shows total 10, cash available 10, cash available will change to the remaining amount of nights. For example, if 1 night is booked for this date, it will change to 9. Like here, which you can simply see that 1 night has been booked, so the cash available is 9 out of total 10. One last thing to cover is that we can simply add the details we want on the voucher and on the booking details for each of the hotels and room types that we're going to book through this option. We come to the hotels and we go to information. We can find and edit what we have already entered, or we can create a new one. We simply click on plus, new, and then we can add different types of details that can also be shown on the voucher. For example, if this room type that has been booked, and we have also added the rates and everything for, we can define if there is a leader, what's the name and what's the number, so the passengers and clients can contact them. The same goes for transfer, emergency, or any other details that might be needed to be entered and shown on the voucher. To add transfers to the specified rates that you have added into the system, you simply come to contracting, hotels, transfer rates, and then add group of flights as the first step. Once you've done so, you will come to this page. In this page, you will enter your airlines and then their flight numbers for both arrival and departure flights. Once you have entered all the details, you simply click on Submit. You will be directed to the group flight list, which you can also get to from hotels, transfer rates, and then this group of flights. Every group that you have added into the system will have a specific numbers. For example, this one has 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, which refers to arrival and departure flights. Now to add the rates for these group of flights, we simply go to contracting, transfer rates, and then we press on new. Once in this page, click on plus and then another plus to add different types of rates, for example. Over here, we choose the currency, departure and arrival flights, for example, as we told you before, they had numbers 1 and 2. And then we specify what kind of circumstances will make these transfers available to the bookings of this room type that you have added into the system. For example, we say if the amount of stays are minimum of 3 nights and maximum of 10 nights. Now we simply add the prices for. For example, we add 100 dirhams for buying and selling price. Once that's done, whoever wants to make a booking for this room type, they shall be presented a transfer option. And in that transfer option, they shall be given one of these rates, and they can choose simply to add the transfers or not. And if they want to make them free of charges, we simply click on these rates and add 0. If the prices are 0, that means the transfers would be free of charges. Once you have added the prices and specified the conditions, you simply click on Submit. Once you've done that, you will be directed to the transfer rate list, which you can also get to from Hotels, Transfer Rates, and List. Now that you have added the rates for your flight groups, you will see that for every rate that you add into the system, you will also be given a number. For example, this one is 1, the other one is 2. Now to add these transfer rates to your room types that you have added into the system, we have to go back to the hotels and then hotel room page, like we're going to show you right now. We have our room, we click on Edit, and now under Transfer Group, we enter one of the numbers that we've been given after we have added the transfer rates. For example, as we showed you, 1 or 2, for example, 1. If we had added other different types of transfer rates, we shall have different types of numbers. We only have to enter their numbers over here to make them available. Once done, we click on Submit and make the transfer be added to our room type. And whenever a client wants to make a booking, they shall have the option to add the transfer they want into their booking. We have covered everything from adding your hotel rates into the system and also adding transfer to those rates. If there was any questions or any sort of complications, please don't hesitate to contact us.